She looked at him straight in the eye, smiled, and said something that sounded harmless. But later that night, he could not sleep, not from overthinking, but because, on some level, he already understood what it meant. What I'm about to explain is something most men never hear from anyone. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will start recognizing patterns from your past relationships and finally understand them. Here is the brutal truth: in relationships, words aren't always literal. The most risky statements are often the ones that sound perfectly fine at first. Today, I'm giving you 6 phrases, real phrases that women say. And if you hear any of them, psychology says, do not negotiate, don't wait, walk away. Not because she is an evil person, but because staying will cost you something you can never get back. Now let us get started. Phrase number 1. I'm not really looking for anything serious right now. Many men interpret this as, I will prove I'm different if I'm patient. That is where they get stuck. What she is often expressing is a desire for emotional connection without commitment. If you stay, you end up investing emotionally while she keeps her distance. Attachment research shows that uncertainty doesn't deepen bonds, it creates anxiety. You begin overanalyzing texts, silences, and mood changes. Your body stays in a state of stress, which can feel like love but is not. It is just waiting. Men who value themselves don't linger where there was never a clear invitation. Phrase number 2. I'm a really complicated person. Some men hear this and think it signals depth or mystery. But that is often a misinterpretation. From a psychological perspective, emotionally grounded people don't define themselves by unresolved issues. They work through them. When someone leads with being complicated, it can mean they haven't addressed their patterns yet and expect you to accept the instability up front. That is not complexity, it is a warning. And ignoring it can turn a relationship into a project rather than a partnership. Phrase number 3. You are honestly too good for me. At first, it sounds like a compliment. But psychologically, it creates distance. By placing you above her, she avoids meeting you as an equal. It also sets up an excuse for future inconsistency. If she pulls away or becomes unreliable, the explanation has already been given. Phrase number 4. I told you. I warned you. Here is the surprising part: when men hear these kinds of statements, many slip into a savior mindset. They start believing their love can fix how she sees herself. But attraction doesn't come from trying to rescue someone, it comes from mutual respect and balanced effort. You can't convince someone they are worthy of you through love alone. Phrase number 5. All of my exes were toxic. Sure, toxic people exist, but if every past relationship is blamed entirely on others, that points to a lack of self-reflection. Real growth requires owning not just the hurt, but the patterns too. If she never asks herself what role she played, she can't evolve. And if she doesn't evolve, you won't be her partner, you will just be another chapter in the same story. If this is making you think of someone, you are not the only one. A lot of people start connecting the dots at this point. Now the final phrase, I don't really like labels. Many men accept this to avoid seeming needy or controlling, so they go along with it. But wanting clarity isn't control, it is intention. Psychologically, uncertainty feels like a threat to the brain. When you're stuck in something undefined, you can't fully relax. You end up investing deeply in something that isn't clearly defined, and over time, that imbalance quietly drains you. Here's the truth men need to hear: walking away is not losing, it is understanding. It shows you understood what was being communicated and chose to act on it. The strongest men are not the ones who stayed the longest, they are the ones who left when their self-respect started slipping. Because when you stay in something that doesn't align, you slowly change. First you become more patient, then more cautious, then quieter. You stop expressing your needs, stop setting boundaries, and start shrinking yourself just to keep things smooth. And the moment you begin to minimize yourself, attraction fades, not because you lack value, but because you're no longer showing up fully. It's not about blame, emotional stability is naturally attractive. And you can't be stable if you're constantly thrown off balance. So instead of seeing these phrases as red flags, think of them as early exit signs, signals that help you avoid deeper damage later.